What's up, YouTubers? It's me, Brian Hicks. If it sounds like there's a train going by, it is. It has been here for several hours, and I've been waiting for it to leave, and it has not done so yet. So this is a rare, low-profile Hunter original. And Hunter started making these in '85, I believe. And they started making them, and then I believe they quit making them in '88 or '89. These are great fans, and I have a childhood story about them, but it's not really worth telling you guys the whole story in here because it's kind of a long and drawn out story. But the short and sweet of it is there's a house in Oxford, North Carolina that has one of these, and a family member used to rent this house, and the owner of the house, I have been in negotiations for years trying to purchase said fan. That fan is a white fan, and the owner of the house has never wanted to sell it. He always throws out some crazy figure like $1,000. But this one here went up to Greensboro. It was on Craigslist. I thought it was a downrod model. I was not aware that it was a low profile fan. I'm gonna go ahead and take him up to medium. And turns out, you know, I'm into diesels, and the seller was this lady who had a BMW X5D, and we got to talking about her BMW, and we didn't even talk about the fan, and it was like, all right, we'll see you later, and we both completely forgot what we were there for. And then it was like we were about to pull away, and I was like, oh wait, I'm here to buy a fan. And we both started laughing. But this one here is a 1986 model. It has the arcless pull chain. It's the original pull chain. Hunter would always, in the early 80s, had a short little pull chain. Then they had their little breakaway connector, which you can see on this guy. So you would have that short chain and this breakaway connector, and then you'd have this after that. Was there a way of, should you knock the pull chain, go up the blades, or pull too hard, would break away and not actually damage the switch itself? Every one of these that I've ever had, and I have two other ones right now, another brown one that's missing everything except for the blades, and I have another white one that is missing the canopy, going up to high now. But every one that I've ever had except for this one wobbles insanely, and it's like they are very hard to balance. And you can say this one's wobbles a little bit, but they're very hard to balance because they have no downrod, but they are still mounted exactly like that. I'm gonna throw it on reverse, and I'm just gonna hit the switch and let it reverse at full speed. Powerful motor, lots of torque. And then I'm gonna shut it off from here and let it do the spin down. Wow, a lot of wobble. See what I mean? I have not reversed this one yet. So shut it off, let it spin down. It's my trash can I'm bumping into. So I want to give you guys a little treat. after this stops. Something I want to start doing. Going to go into the technical aspect. Freaking train. The technical aspect of originals and other things. Eventually, what I plan to do, and I don't know if you guys know I have these. Some of you guys do. Those are Hunter books. Field Service Manual and Reference Manual. One's from 1991, I think it is, and the other one's from 1998. We're going to go into the 1990 one real quick, and I'm going to show you guys the diagrams and a parts breakdown for this fan, since it's kind of unique. One thing you may notice about it, that the housing, I'm not measuring, specifically here. This is not a scientific method of measurement, but the housing is about 3/4 inch thinner on that fan up there than it is this guy. Anyway, I'm gonna pause this video real quick. I'm gonna grab this guy. So this is what your standard original of the time would have looked like inside. And here is the parts breakdown for one. So, you got your housing, you got your oil hole, shaft and all that stuff. You see how thick the housing is. You got the windings. This is actually a shaded pole version. So we're going to move over to the low profile. So you may have seen that I did a little screenshot or whatever of the regular 52-inch fan and its CFM there, and you will notice that the CFM rating is just a little bit lower, and I believe that is solely because the blades are 8 inches away from the ceiling instead of a foot to 14 inches. Pitch is still 15 degrees. So here's the wiring diagram for this fan. Like I said, this is something I want to start getting into, is showing everybody how these things are wired, yada yada yada, blah blah. And, we were talking about the arcless fan, or excuse me, arcless switch. Lord Jesus. I think there is a breakdown in here. I'm gonna pause again. I remember there being a exploded diagram, so I'm gonna look real quick. And it's a 42-inch fan. Here, I will focus on this. You guys who would like to have that picture may do so. I actually had to go into my other book. I couldn't remember. There's so much information in here, in these two books. Here's your 52-inch fan motor again. And there's your 42-inch. We just bypassed the 36 there. And here's the low profile. Very different. It's the same shaft length. But you see how this thing works. It's got like this stamped claw thing that mounts with 4 little 832 screws, which is number 5 there on your diagram. And it's like, wow, these things really, really aren't held together very well. But everything else is pretty standard. And, there you get. Then you have your electrically reversible. So go ahead and show you the diagram that they have in here, which is just a smidge different. It's really the same thing. I just omitted the different switch types and such over here. So I'm actually going to take this down now, and well, I'm actually going to take it down. We'll take the canopy off. I'll let you guys see. For whoever has the need, I figured that I would show how to oil this thing because it's a little bit different as well. We just passed 10 minutes. Who cares? You guys got the time. I've got the time.